lighten up, whoa, lighten up. Don't take yourself so serious. Yeah, lighten up, whoa, lighten up. Don't take yourself so serious.
Welcome to Ignite Your Happy TV. I'm Jackie Hermans, your host. Just by watching the show, you will feel happier, and I always have guests to provide you with strategies, products, experiences to help you to have more happiness in your life, increased health, and less stress. And today on the show, I'm interviewing Jen Mark, who is an athletic therapist, and her company is called Dynamic Living. So Jen, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Now, so you're an athletic therapist. Tell me what that involves. What do you offer people?
So it's injury management. So if someone gets injured, doing the advanced assessment, rehabilitation, getting them back onto whatever they're doing, as better or as much as they were doing before. So if they're a basketball player, runner, weightlifter, or just exerciser, back into doing what they were doing, as well as prevention. So we call it prehab. So doing any sort of strength training or nutrition, making sure they're drinking enough water, all those sorts of things so that they don't get injured.
Okay. So now, other than the obvious, I know with what you do, if people are feeling healthier, they will feel happier in their lives. But what are some other aspects that people don't necessarily think of as to why they will be in a better place by taking care of their bodies?
I think confidence comes with that. So if you're feeling good, you're not having a chronic back pain, chronic neck pain, you sort of feel a little bit better. And I do a little bit of personal training also, and it's with some of my clients that maybe never were exposed to sport when they were younger, and they're doing, lifting now, or doing cycling or running or whatever, knowing that, oh, look, I just ran 10K, or I could just never thought I would lift 50 pounds, or, those sorts of things I think can be really exciting for everybody.
That's accomplishment.
Yeah.
I did it.
Oh, I didn't think I could do it. If I have faith in them, sometimes that's all they need, and then they're able to do it. Or if you're on the track, and I work with track and field, and, having an injury managed and they can get over the hurdles in a personal best time, they get really excited,
Okay. So I know when you work with your clients, you do give them some nutritional advice as well. So I would love for you to give our viewers some nutritional advice to help them to feel healthier, be more vibrant, and be happier.
I think there's two words.
Yeah.
Vegetables and water.
Okay.
That's really,
it's really important.
Just back to basics. Raw as much as you can, not overcooking your vegetables. We lose almost 60% of our nutrients by cooking the vegetables. So if you're getting all of your micronutrients, your body's working better, and your mood will change. Your mood will elevate, and you will feel better. Having enough water gets enough circulation around your body, helps with nerve interaction. Again, just makes you feel better because you're firing on all cylinders.
Now, is there a difference between, let's say, I know when you cook your vegetables, you're losing some of the vitamins. So if you were to steam your vegetables, I understand it enhances the retention of the vitamins
it's much
a
better.
little bit, much better.
Yeah.
What's the comparison of, let's say, steaming your vegetables or juicing? Is there, do you
You're
know the
going to
difference
get
there?
better with the, well, depending on how you juice.
Okay.
But if you're juicing, you're getting more out of your fruits and vegetables than you are out of steaming.
Okay.
But in both of those, you're getting more out of cooking, and microwaving, you lose everything.
Okay.
So you microwave
if you're
that
reheating
broccoli,
stuff,
you toast it.
okay.
I think there's been a lot of studies that even microwaving water will kill the nutrients in the water, and fish can't survive in microwaved water.
Okay.
So, the less you do to your food, the better.
Okay.
Juicing is a great way for most people, or even just having smoothies and blending it, to get it down without having to taste the kale, without having to have the kale and the broccoli or the strawberries and all that. Having individual taste, it tastes a little bit better, and it's a power-packed way of doing it.
So what would you say are the top vegetables that you should be having every week? Or should you just be changing it up all the time?
You have to change it up, but there's quite a few superfoods: kale, beets, broccoli, nuts and seeds.
Okay.
Are sort of the big ones.
If you're chronic with, let's say, hope you don't mind, viewers, yeast infections, should you stay away from the beets and stay away from the carrots? Or because they're so jam-packed with vitamins, it's okay to get the more
You have to do what works best with your body.
Okay.
I don't know all the answers on that, but you might have to move away a little bit and then come back again, depending on what your body is.
Okay.
If you're having infections, if there's something going on something going on in your body, so you have to make an adjustment.
Okay. Okay. Now with water, I heard that if, let's say you have caffeinated drinks, so with every caffeinated drink, you need 2 cups of water. Is that accurate, or is there any other information you can share with our viewers about water?
Stay away from all that stuff.
Do you drink coffee?
I don't.
No?
But mostly because I don't like the taste.
Okay, okay.
So I can't get on my high horse about coffee because I just can't stand the taste or the smell of it.
Okay.
1 cup of coffee a day is fine. You know, it's people that get into the 3-4 cups of coffee or more in a day that really starts to do a lot of day. And same with pop, right?
Okay.
You know, having one glass of pop every once in a while, it's fine. But having 2 or 3 a day is when it starts to make a difference. And you do have to pump up the more water because you're taking out calcium, you're taking out things out of your bloodstream with those sorts of things, and water has to bring it back in.
Okay.
But water can't do everything that they're taking out of your bones and taking out of your bloodstream and through putting the pressure on your kidneys and so on. Water can't do everything. So the less you have of that, the better.
Okay, okay. See, when I think of when you go to the coffee shop, a medium is, let's say, about that big. So that's more than a cup.
Right.
Is something like that too much then for most bodies?
Depends, and depends how long you take to drink it.
Okay.
So if you have it and you're down it in 5 minutes, oh my goodness. But, you know, if you take time to drink it and that's the only one that you're having all day,
Okay.
and depending on what you're adding into it.
Right.
Right, you know, 3 bags of sugar and 2 milks.
3 bags of sugar, wow.
You know, it's going to get a bit much. But I know people that do that,
Yeah,
right? That
yeah.
that just sort of jam
Triple. Just,
yeah, like, you know, that starts to get a little bit
okay.
too much. So it's all in balance, right?
Right.
It's, you know, if you're going to have your coffee every day, back it up with some vegetables.
Okay.
And have your water with it. You know, you have to
I'll have a coffee and a
balance
side of
that
broccoli,
way.
please.
You got it.
Forget the
I don't know why
coffee.
they don't do that.
Forget the donut. I know. They should start having little baggies of veggies for you.
They would attract me a lot more.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you get on them.
I will.
Okay.
Starting tomorrow.
Now, core strengthening is really important. And so do you have a recommendation of the minimum of exercises that people should be doing every day to keep that core strengthened? And why do you need that for increased health and happiness?
I think it goes back to the confidence part.
Okay.
So if you can stand straight, and if you are standing straight, you feel better. Yeah, and
No,
you
I'm
project
watching
that
Yeah.
image of self-confidence, right? Tall women are the worst, who sort of sit, you know, this way. And I used to have a horseback ride, and I used to have a riding instructor that would say, it's like you're apologizing for being there with your posture, because you're just sort of all slumped forward.
Yeah.
You can't breathe well. You're gonna have shoulder and neck pain, back pain, and people look at you differently than they will if you're sitting up straight and tall, appearing confident.
Right.
So that's what I do a lot of with my personal training. A lot of them are women, and we, you know, hound over and over again about being strong and confident. Your core helps with that. So you can't maintain that posture if your core is not strong.
Okay.
And everything goes back to strong core. You know, being able to run well, getting that, you know, good footing on the ground. This is where your foundation is. If it's stable, you can get good footing. You know, if you're a basketball player, a cyclist, if you are playing with your kids on the floor, you can stand back up again instead of, you know, trying to get creaking back up again, right?
Right.
Probably the simplest and best things to do, women who have had babies will know as a Kegel.
Yeah.
Men can't do Kegels, though they've asked me.
I heard there are men Kegels though. I have heard that.
They can't physically do a Kegel, but if they do what we call stop the flow. So it's like, and women, is what they're doing anyway. It's almost like if you have to go to the bathroom, but it's socially unacceptable.
Okay.
In the moment. So how do you hold it? And that's your pelvic floor muscles that are working to hold it. It's not clenching your glutes. It's not making a great big squeeze. It's just a small movement to stop the flow.
So for men, it's not going pee right away when they have to go, just hold on to it.
Yeah.
So for women, I can understand that's not good for your bladder, but for men, is it okay?
Well, no, you're not asking them to not go to the bathroom. It's
just
almost
hold
as
it all
if
day.
That's and they'll be really strong. It's more. It's more of what's that sensation?
Okay.
Of, let's say you're in the elevator and you have to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
You don't just go. What do you do to hold it before you get to the bathroom?
So be conscious of what you're doing to hold it in.
So that's the
not pee your
sensation.
pants.
Once they sort of like, oh, okay, I know what that feels like.
Okay.
Well, then they can mimic that even when they don't have to go to the bathroom.
Oh,
and that's what women are essentially doing anyway.
Okay.
So you're activating your pelvic floor, and then even just drawing your belly button in So stop the flow or your Kegel, draw your belly button in, and keeping that neutral spine. So not a flat back.
Okay.
You know, and more people don't know what a corset is. I'm assuming that you know what a corset is.
Oh,
what the Victorian women would wear. That's they're mimicking a strong core.
Oh, okay.
With that, right? With their posture and tucking everything in and so on. But if we flatten our back, we don't have a neutral spine.
Okay.
And then we start to get back pain.
So now I'm thinking of having a straight back because we were talking about, you know, shoulders back. So that's fine if it's straight. It's just not overly.
As long as it's not rigid.
Okay.
Right? We call that a military posture. When it's too straight and you lose all the curve in your spine and it's not rigid, and that's sort of gone the other way.
Now I understand Kegels are also great for enhancing your sex life. Is that true? Is that accurate? Because with having the, it doesn't enhance your sensitivity.
Yeah, and you're stronger.
Okay.
As far as I know.
Okay. You're not talking from experience.
I haven't done too much of the research.
Too much information. Okay. So can you give us maybe two examples of exercises other than the Kegels that we could do to help have a stronger core?
Yeah, so just doing the Kegels and the belly button in is the basics. That's where everyone needs to start. That's where I have all of my therapy clients, whether they have a shoulder problem, knee problems, back problems, that's what we start with that because that's your foundation.
Okay.
Once you're able to, you know, if you have your hands just on the inside of your pelvic bones and you start to push in a little bit, if you cough or laugh, you can feel the skin coming into your fingers.
Okay.
That's not what I want. I want your skin to come away from your fingers when you do those exercises.
Your skin coming away, so your
you're
stomach going out?
In. No, it's coming in. So it's flattening your stomach in from there. Often people will feel their stomach push out a little bit. You know, when you see someone doing a crunch or a leg lower and they're bringing their legs up and down and their stomach sticks out, their core is not activated.
Okay.
So we want to have it nice and flat while you're doing any of your core exercises.
Okay.
And that's what makes them hard. Right? It's not just doing crunches. It's doing crunches or side planks and all those with your stomach staying flat. It's not allowed. I tell people to keep their organs tucked in. They're not allowed to sort of expose themselves.
Now, what about the ladies who have had more than one child, or even just having one child? I have 3, and when I'm bent over, things kind of a little more flabby, right?
Yeah.
Like my skin will just
the skin is the skin, and I can't do anything about the skin, right? You know, good nutrition, exercising helps a little bit,
right?
But it just makes it harder for women that have had have stretched, or especially if it's a C-section, it makes it a lot harder. So their core has been compromised. But you just have to work that much harder to get it back.
All right, this has been amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jen. So how do people get a hold of you? Can you share your website?
Yeah, it's just dynamicliving.me. or jenmark@dynamicliving.me.
All right, so they can contact you to do one-on-one personal training for
athletic therapy.
Therapy?
Any sort of aches and pains, back problems, shoulder problems. I do a lot of personal training with people who have injuries. So if you have a chronic back pain or chronic knee pain, instead of someone who doesn't know about injuries doing 100 squats and not really knowing what to do, we're not doing any lower body exercises. We do sort of do a little bit of therapy, a little bit of training together that way.
All right, thank you. So there's dynamicliving.ca?
ME.
ME. Oh, yeah. Dynamicliving.me.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jen. It's been great to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. So this has been another episode of Ignite Your Happy TV. It's Jen Mark. Definitely check out our website, dynamicliving.me, and make sure you watch more episodes of Ignite Your Happy TV.
Lighten up, whoa, lighten up. Don't take yourself